We humans come from a long line of hunter-gatherers who've evolved into shopper-collectors.
Here we are.
Many of us have a sweet tooth and know how to satisfy it. We grow our food on farms, we herd cattle, and we milk them.
It's an achievement we can be proud of, but perhaps not that proud. Amazingly, in Australia, there's a species of ant that also has a taste for sweet foods and farms animals. Ants are the most organised of social insects. They have complex societies. They fight wars, they take prisoners, and they keep livestock. Caterpillars that secrete a sweet liquid called honeydew are actually farmed like domestic animals. Usually, any insect unlucky enough to encounter these cataglyphous ants will be overpowered and torn apart for food, like this grasshopper. But when this particular kind of ant meets the caterpillar of the Genevieve blue butterfly, something extraordinary happens. They herd it. The ants nest in cracks at the base of trees, and the caterpillars eat the mistletoe that grows in the treetops. Every night, the ants herd the caterpillars up the trunk to let them feed on the mistletoe. There, the ants milk the caterpillars for their sweet secretion of honeydew, like an insect dairy farm. After they've both spent the night feeding, the ants then drive the caterpillars back down the tree trunk, corralling them in their own nest at the tree's base. There, the caterpillars are safe from daytime predators, like wasps. The caterpillars are completely dependent on their keepers. The only life they know is the company of ants, a symbiotic relationship that's one of the closest encounters in the natural world. The caterpillars get protection, the ants get the honeydew. But are the ants the exploiters? Or could it be that the caterpillars are actually using the ants? After all, the caterpillars give up a tiny quantity of honeydew, but the protection they get probably saves their lives. Protected and nurtured, the caterpillars actually turn into pupae inside the ant's nest, and these, too, are not harmed. Once hatched into a Genevieve blue, the butterfly is still accepted by the ants, despite the fact that it no longer produces honeydew. And when it's time to leave, it's escorted by a farewell party, flying the nest forever. So who is actually using who? There are over 6 billion people on this planet, but for every one of us, there are over 1 million ants. That's 6 million billion, or 6,000 trillion, or, well, anyway, it's a lot. Our last story draws us south, to the beaches of Durban, South Africa. Warm sunshine, warm seas. Perfection.
Well, not quite. From a bather's point of view, Durban's beaches suffer one major drawback: sharks. And not just any shark. Dangerous prowlers who are proven man-eaters. Tigers, Mako's The Zambezi Shark, and cinema's big villain, the Great White.